Well, good morning everyone. Hope you are doing good and having a great week. To all my returning subscribers, thank you for your support. And to all our viewers and those recently subscribed, thank you and welcome to this channel. As you saw in the introduction of this video, today we'll be talking about world coins. And for this series of videos, I'll be taking you to the United Kingdom and we'll be taking a look at the very beautiful British half crown. Up on your screen is this coin album containing all of my British half crowns and florins or 2 shilling coins that I've been working on to collect over several years. The half crown collection that I have runs from the years in the 1800s up until their withdrawal in the 1960s. The half crown first appeared in the British currency system in 1546 during the reign of King Edward VI. Those early coins from the 1500s to the 1700s are quite rare and extremely valuable, so I don't have those in my collection. However, the half crowns continued to be used as a denomination of British currencies up until their withdrawal on the 31st of December 1969, and they were completely demonetized on the 1st of January 1970. This was a prelude to the decimalization of the old British currencies and the introduction of the new pence, which was officially started on the 15th of February 1971. For this series of videos, I'll be sharing you the half crowns that I have, categorized by the reigning monarch that you can see on the obverse of the coins. But before we get to my collection, I'd just like to put it out there that I do have a crowdfunding page on Buy Me a Coffee, the link of which you can find in the description text of my YouTube homepage. So go ahead and click on that, go and have a look, and I would appreciate any support that you guys can give, as this channel here is not monetized. Okay, with that all done, let's go ahead and take a look at some British half crowns. Okay, so I've previously done a couple of videos showing the crowns bearing the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II and King George VI. The first series, which is actually the final series for the British half crowns, ran from 1953 to 1970, while the second last series with the effigy of King George VI ran from 1937 to 1951. For this video, we'll be looking at the half crowns which bear the effigy of King George V, who is the father for King George VI. This series of coins ran from 1911 to 1936. There are 28 different coins to collect. However, realistically, you can probably collect about 27 coins. And for my collection, I have 26 of them. This is the final series of coins to be entirely minted of silver. The follow-on series of half crowns bearing the portrait of King George VI transitioned from silver to copper nickel. This is also the series of coins which were initially struck in sterling silver before transitioning to 50% silver. For the sterling silver coins, there are 9 coins that were minted for circulation, while for the 50% silver, you can collect up to 18 coins. There are 4 variations to this series, or 4 different types. The first being coins minted in sterling silver, the second are coins minted in 50% silver, the third being coins minted in 50% silver with some variation on the obverse, while the fifth are coins minted in 50% silver with a new reverse. I'll start the review with the coins from the Type 1 series, and the first of these coins were issued out in 1911. All of these coins were minted at the Royal Mint of Tower Hill in London of the United Kingdom, and the first of these coins was struck in 925% sterling silver, the weight of 14.14 grams, a diameter of 32.3mm, and a thickness of approximately 2.2mm with a fully weathered edge. Right here on the obverse, we can see this portrait of King George V, designed by Edgar Bertram McKinnell. You can see his initials just over here at the bottom of the truncation, BM. The portrait is facing to the left, and surrounding the portrait we have this legend here in Latin, which reads George V, Dei Gratia, Britanniarum, Omnium Rex. I'm probably butchering that, so my apologies for mispronouncing those Latin words. But essentially, those words translate to in English as George V, by the grace of God, King of all the Britons. The coin is in metal orientation, so when I flip it to the reverse, we can now see this crown quartered shield design done by George William de Solis. The shield itself is surrounded by this banner, and in the banner we have these words here in Latin, which reads Honai Soit Quil My Y Pensy. Again, sorry if I'm butchering those words, but essentially that translates to shame on he who thinks evil of it. And just above the crown, we have these words in Latin, which reads Fide Defensor, Inde Imperator. That translates to Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India. Below the shield, we have the year issue, 1911 for this particular coin. And flanking the year issue, we have the face value of half crown. With the design and specifications for this Type 1 half crown of this series all done, let's go ahead now and take a look at the other 8 coins that were issued for this type. With this final coin here from 1919, we come now to the end of the Type 1 series, which are all minted in sterling silver. In 1920, the purity of the silver was reduced to 50%, and the half crowns that were minted with this purity were known as the Type 2 half crowns. These coins were minted from 1920 to 1926, so 7 different coins in total. The dimension and specifications of the coins are unchanged, with the exception, of course, of the purity of the silver. Here's the reverse of the coin, and as you can see, this coin is the first coin of the Type 2 series, being issued out in 1920. The design on the shield and the wording around the shield is unchanged. And according to Numista, there's a variation that exists with the Type 2 series. For the coins minted in 1920, 1921, and 1922, there are no groove or gap between the crown and the shield. This coin unfortunately is pretty well worn, so you can't make that out. Here on this coin from 1923, we can see the second variation. In reference to Numista, it's mentioned that there is a groove between the crown and the shield on the reverse of these coins. And this variation is present on the coins minted in 1924, 1925, and 1926. With this coin from 1926, we come now to the final coin for the Type 2 series. For this year, there's a transition to the Type 3 series, and you will see 2 different coins from 1926. The first coin from 1926 for the Type 3 series is currently missing from my collection. But the difference for this coin can be seen on the obverse, where we have smaller beads on the rim of the coin. For the Type 2 series coins, there are 188 beads surrounding the effigy. And the way that you can tell that this is the coin with the smaller beads is to look at the colon over here, just after the Latin words break. And if you look at the colon here, the mark of the colon is in between the 2 beads over here. Again, I'm missing the Type 3 coin from 1926, but I do have the Type 3 coin for 1927. The Type 3 is only present for these 2 years. Before I show you this coin, I'd just like to mention that the mintage for the 1926 half crown is a combination of both the Type 2 and Type 3. Here on the 1927 Type 3 coin, if you look at the colon over here, this coin has larger beads, and the total number of beads surrounding the effigy is 145. And if you look at the colon over here after the word Brit, the colon is pointing to the bead at the edge of the rim. Other than that difference, the design on the 1926 and 1927 Type 3 coins is exactly the same as the Type 2 coins. These coins are also minted in 50% silver. Before we take a quick look at all the other coins of this series, I'd just like to mention that there were also a Type 4 coin that was issued out in 1927. Those coins were only issued out in proof and have a very low mintage number of, I believe, of only 15,000. Now, if we take a look at the Type 3 1927 coin, the design on the reverse is very much different from the Type 4 coin. And I'd just like to issue out a warning for you guys out there who are looking to collect these half crowns. There are some listings on online platforms like eBay where seller put this 1927 Type 3 coin on for sale, and they list them as a Type 4 coin. So if you see that, please don't be duped. That's not the very limited vintage proof coin from 1927. And typically the coins that you see being listed for sale is this one here, which is the Type 3 coin for 1927. We come now to the final Type 4 coin for this series, and these coins started from 1928 and ended in 1936. There are 9 coins in total, and for these coins on the reverse, you can see the new quarter shield design that's done by George Kruger Gray. This design was carried over to the half crowns featuring the effigy of King George VI. And on the shield itself, right at the bottom, you can see the initials of the designer, KG. And flanking the shield, we can see the 2 smaller crowns with the interlocking letter G just below the crown. The design on the obverse is unchanged with the effigy of the king by Edgar Bertram McKinnell. And this coin here is from 1928. Before we move on, do take note for this coin issued out in 1930. This coin has a very low mintage of just above 800,000. With this final coin from 1936, we come now to the end of the review for this series of coins bearing the effigy of King George V. Before I end this video, let me just share with you some of my final thoughts. It took me about 2 to 3 years to complete this collection, and again, I'm still missing the coin from 1926, the Type 3 coin from 1926. Otherwise, I have all the years that have been issued for this series. These coins were minted in fairly large number, and they are quite common, and you can probably find all of them if you do a little bit of hunting, whether online or at your local coin store. As you have seen from the review, the coins that I have in my collection are fairly well worn and in low grade, so they didn't command that much of a premium. However, coins that are in higher grade can be quite expensive, and the more desirable coins are the ones minted earlier in the series, which are struck in sterling silver. In fact, the half crowns that were minted before this series, all of which bear the portrait of King Edward VII, quite desirable among collectors. All those coins are minted in sterling silver, and some of them have the lowest mintage numbers for the half crowns issued out in the United Kingdom. But that will be the subject for my next video, so stay tuned to my channel if you'd like to find out more. And with that, I guess that will do it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you do have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, don't forget to leave me a like if you have enjoyed this content, and be sure to hit that share and subscribe buttons down here if you have not done so. As always, from everybody over here, you all please take care, be safe, and have a nice day.
Mm-hmm.